What's up, everybody? So today we are back with a new video. It is Vexus Gaming here, and as you can see, I am a very new player. I skipped the tutorial only because I have about a week on another one. I highly recommend, if you're new to the game, play the tutorial. Don't be like this, okay? Because if you skip the tutorial without having any like alternative account to log on to, give yourself like a little bit of silver just to kind of start it off. You're kind of just stuck. You're cooked. You're gonna need to like beg for handouts or whatnot. Anyways, as you can see, I gave myself 400k silver just to kind of get it started here. Um, Kind of show you guys what's going on. So the first thing that I want to go over is the layout of cities, right? So we got the vanity merchant, which you really don't need to go anywhere and do anything with. It's all just cosmetic appeal. As you can see, it changed my shield to a staff there. Now I'm holding flowers. Now I have a ring in my hand. Not really important, but I guess kind of. Right here, you can buy an island. With the island, you can do different things on it, which if you go to showroom, for example, and I do have one on my main, you can sit there and, raise, you can sit there and raise livestock, and then which you can use to feed either your animals that you have in the pen over here. For example, these are dire wolves. Very cool mount that I want. You can start farms to feed to sell either on the market or use to craft into food and feed your residents and your laborers and whatever else you have here. Has a lot of wheat, I'm not gonna lie. This person has a windmill back here, as you can see, which kind of just stores stuff. I believe it stores the wheat or whatnot, so that's pretty cool. There's another newbie starting out with me. You can mine these logs on the island and rocks when you get the rough stone, like over here. For example, right here, very good mining. Set up a little funeral if you want for, like, how many times you died. I guess you can sit there and keep count with, like, maybe a memento or something. That'd be kind of cool. Right here, you can do botany, I guess. I grow mushrooms on my main island at the moment because I just started developing my island, but it's pretty cool if I do say so myself. They don't have it in the showroom island, but with the recent part, this bridge gets fixed and you're able to come over to this part when you upgrade it to a certain level. At the moment, right here, and then you get your own little house, which you can walk into. You can store stuff, set it up however you want. I actually like how this inside of this house looks. It's pretty cool. Like, just imagine coming home after hard days grinding, gathering materials, gathering resources, fighting your heart out, just sitting at the table with your family and just eating some, what are those? Some steam buns, I guess. I don't know. But hey, no, you got your like prize trophy fish up here, you know, a little hobby. I like bonsai trees too. They're probably one of the coolest things to have. This guy right here, let me tell you, this guy, he put up a fight, but not as good as his pack leader. That's why he's mounted on the wall over here. This guy put up the real fight, you know. A little doghouse kennel for the dog I don't own. It's very sad. I know. So this one right here, it says you can grow and raise different animals, right? Right here. You travel over here real quick. Boom. Islands offer training dummies to test your abilities. So, like, speaking of abilities, we have some spells to sit there and click. So, in inventory, right? You got to do this with every time you switch gear. Even if you're just going, like, if it's the same name but it's a tier higher or something better, you got to select it. So let's just go with shield, increase damage. Let's go with rage, increase damage. Let's go with movement. Increase damage unless you're hauling, then increase your max load, which I'm about to go do. Let's go with the first queue. ... All right, so then you can come over here and be like, all right, you know what? Let's go ahead and try it out. You know? And that's that. You know, you can try out your damage on that. Some group AoEs, I guess. I don't know what these are for. I guess archery. You can shoot bows and arrows at them. Come over to scenic side. Don't know what's over here, honestly. They don't do anything over here. Maybe they plan on adding onto this area, but currently it's kind of useless, in my opinion. Like, put a little dog cage there, I guess. I don't know. It's not like you can own pets. Maybe they should have it where you can own a pet that runs around your island. Like, that'd be pretty cool. Then you go to the next area over here. Right here, as you can see, this is the kennels. You get to grow mounts and whatnot. So instead of a donkey, for example, you can actually ride this wolf when he gets full grown and ride him around. You got this lovely farm. You can relax and grow crops to earn a passive income. Very useful, trust me. But unfortunately, it requires premium. You got this little plot of land up here. This is where your residents stay. I think they have it. You know, as you can see, we have one resident. I don't know what it is. It is a stonemason. So she'll go ahead and cut open the bricks for you and whatnot and get that done, situated. Then you can come over here. And this guy, you can buy stuff from him if you have it. But as you're here on your cool little island, you got stuff that you can collect. Rough logs, rough stone. You got a little fishing area over here, you know, which is actually what I'm about to go do. And what's here? Build all kinds of buildings on your own island. For example, this mill can turn wheat into flour. So that's pretty cool. Right? Then you got this one. Boom. It's telling you to come up here. Build your own home and decorate it with your own furniture. To get a personal island, you need to buy premium. There's different ways to get premium as we talk about it. You can pay it with money, or, right, you can buy it with silver. Costs a lot more in silver. So if you want to go the silver route, I highly recommend becoming like a fisherman or gatherer. PvP is definitely quick fame, quick earnings, but it's also quick losses. So it's a double-edged sword. Today on my main account, we got wiped 3 times, so I lost about 3 million silver. Like, it was nothing. So it's not always like, but I've also reaped in like 7 to 8 mil. So it's completely up to you. When you go fishing though, however, if you see this little area right here, I don't know why I can't fish right there. Probably because it's a trial island. You get your own little fishing spot. These fish make it to where you catch fish all the time. Like when you see little bubbles and holes like that on the normal area. But anyways, how I decide to get rich quick on this game is, let's see how much we can earn tonight in, I don't know, let's say in about 20 minutes. You know, let's see how much we can do in 20 minutes. Probably not a whole lot, but hey, we're going to try it. And we're not going out this way because these monsters are too strong. Too strong. We need to go out the other way. Make sure, a good rule of thumb is, if you're entering or exiting a area, to highlight over it. If you play on PC, I don't know if you can highlight over it on the phone or like the stations, but Xbox or PlayStation, you know, or I don't even know if it's on Switch, but I do know it's crossplay with those platforms. But highlight over it. As you can see, this is a tier 5 zone. It is a yellow zone region. If you are new to the game, try to stay in the yellow or blue, as you can see down here on the name of the map. definitely highly recommended. If you go into a red or black zone, which there is one, it is PvP friendly and you can get killed and get all your loot taken. If you're in a yellow zone, it is still PvP friendly, but only if they are marked as outlaw, or if you're in the PvP zone within the yellow zone, or if it's a faction. Within that area, at least if you get killed, they can't loot your gear. So right now we're going to start off small, you know, mining, getting stuff up. And basically we're going to earn. Why can't I go that way? There's nothing blocking it. It just doesn't want you to. We're going to earn as much as we can. Like, as you can see, and what this does is it allows you to eventually get a new or better equipment. Like, I can't mine that because I don't have a stone hammer on me. That's what I was missing. But what you're going to try and do now is, as you can see, I'm a trainee tracker. You want to basically sit there and grind all this out to where it is full. Currently on my main account, as I said, I've only been playing for about 2 weeks. I have this one all the way done up here. I have one item in this bracket, one item in this bracket, and one item in this bracket, all the way maxed out to level 100. It does go up to 120, but it gets very costly with fame credits and silver. So I highly recommend not doing that right away. As you can see, we are going to be working towards our cloth armor. No, our leather armor. So this is our pathway right now. We're currently working on this. So that's where we're at. You know, just gonna grab as much as I can. And as you can see, remember what I said about the bubbles? Look at this, guys. Just cast your hook up there. Boom. Wait for it to bite. Click. And then you got to reel it in. You got to fight the fish. If it doesn't have a circle around it, there's a chance you can catch rough logs instead of actually catching something. You do have NPCs to fight, you know, that actually do fight back. And I think that's honestly very cool. Up a little far. Let's say, for example, you cast it too short. You can just recast it and then try to do it. But as you can see here, watch. If you don't cast in that circle right there, if we ever get a bite, you know, it's like fishing in real life. Sometimes you can wait here. I can tell you right now that this one's not a fish because the fish does not go back, right? The fish will actually fight. So you're going to catch some. Okay, I lied. I definitely lied. And that fish just didn't like me very much and didn't want to fight or wanted to be reeled in. But boom, as you can see. So you saw that we had the little one puddle. Now we have like 4 fish left in this area. 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 4 catches I can get of fish right away, you know. Now there's only 3. The moment you fish that spot completely out of fish, right? That bubble will go away. And then you just go and move on to the next one. Like we'll go move up. Boom. Look, I've caught 5 fish. So how I say to recommend to get rich quick is definitely either fishing, gathering materials, if you're not big into PvP. PvP does require a lot. I mean, you can go into solo PvP if you want, but it definitely requires a good amount of tactics. I recommend learning your tools, learning what build you want to go, putting some type of spec into that build, which we will show you in a minute here. And boom, see, the bubble went away. But don't forget to always claim your stuff and use it so you can level up quickly. I highly recommend that because honestly, this can be a pain. Where are you going? No one likes you. Why is my game not working? You basically want to level up all your equipment as much as possible. And I'm getting taxed on my own stuff because I know for a fact that any silver I collect, look, that's a start. 1,000 mob fame. We've already gained 1,000 fame. Let's go. Those are W's, you know? If you think that somebody is kind of scary, they're hovering around you, they might mark themselves as outlaw, you can always inspect their gear. As you can see here, this is perfect because I needed to do this. This guy has a tier 6 2. The highest tier you can go up to is an 8. The point system on the bottom right here is that 0.2 I was talking about, right? The highest thing you can have is a tier 8 4, right? But he's running a 6-2. With this being a 6-2, it is equivalent to an 8 flat. Now, with this being said, if you want to sit there and know, all right, I got this new weapon, I want to try it out, I want to know what builds to run, you know, you just click on the item after it's in your inventory, scroll down, and look, it says gathering. This is a recommended. Open world solo, that's the recommended. Miss. If you go to view build, this is called the armory, and you get to see how it works. So you can like select what you want to do. Me personally, I use Astral Staff on my main. I do a lot of depths duos, but there's no build for this one in it, right? So let's go ahead and show you what I run on my main here. As an example, Astral Staff, I want depths duos, press confirm, boom. There's the build. That's my output damage, you know, and everything else. The efficiency is not good. So that means it does not win a lot. So this is one of those things where you can learn that way if you decide to do it that way. Thank you, innocent bystander, for wanting to partake, even though I don't know who you are. I'm just going to invite this person to the guild. Let's see if we can. They're also brand new. They added me on the island. And, you know, also work on everything, you know, cut down logs, everything that you can here. If it, let's just look at it this way. If it gives you points, just do it. Honestly, I spent a lot of time away from doing a lot of grinding on like stones and logs and whatnot on my main, and that was a bit problematic for me. Another way to increase your area, like your thing, is if you are fishing, for example, if you eat the fish that you catch, right, which you'll have here in your bar, it adds points. So I got 50 fame off of that. And then you can like refresh it and wait for the next one. Boom, I got 10, 20, 30, 40, another 50 fame. And you only need to buy one worm to permanently constantly cast it out. Boom. We got 5 fame on that one. Wow, that was weak. I thought at least like, you know, 10 or 20. No. But anyways, guys, this is going to be the end of the first video. I hope you like it. Stay tuned. Come by the Twitch stream if you want to see me do bigger content with the guild and whatnot. I would really appreciate it. This is my journey starting on this game from noob to, I don't know, see how far we can take it, you know? I would love for you guys all to stop by, say hi, what's up, and, you know, beginner to beginner. And on top of that, you know what? I left my guild as an open invite. You want to come join me? Feel free. We're brand new. this is brand new. We are going to eventually be alliance with wanted PKs. Anyone who starts to get the game will eventually, I'll put in a word for you guys from this clan and you guys can join us. If you guys really want to know what wanted PKs is, we're not, actually I think we are. Hold on. Let me look at the guild rankings. We are currently ranked 97. This is where my main is. Right here. Not too bad, not too good. We have 1 territory, 1 hideout, 87 members. Currently on active last week is 72. We do a lot of PvP, a lot of gathering, a lot of PvE. We do everything, you know? Like, total guild fame is 29 billion. And we're really cool, you know? Like, Mean Shock's definitely the homie. We vibing. But yeah, definitely come give us a check out. And stop by his stream as well, TTV Mean Shock.